Tens of thousands of demonstrators took part in rallies across the United States on Saturday to demand that lawmakers pass legislation aimed at curbing gun violence following last month's massacre at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas. In the nation's capital, organizers with March for Our Lives estimated that 40,000 people assembled at the National Mall.
How many ways can we say it? Gun violence does not discriminate. It happens everywhere and all the time. It has been happening everywhere all the time because you, Congress, have done nothing to prevent it.
March for Our Lives, the gun safety group founded by student survivors of the 2018 massacre at a Parkland, Florida high school, said it had planned hundreds of rallies nationwide for Saturday, including in New York City, where ninth grader Anya Biggs said she believed the country was close to becoming totally numb to the violence.
I think we're reaching a national tipping point, especially, well, I'm in ninth grade, but as I've seen over the past few years, the amount of gun violence that has happened, I think we're reaching a tipping point where we're about to hit desensitization to gun violence. And I think that we're not there yet, and I think that this is going to be the amount of mass shootings that has happened. I think that if this trend continues, and if we don't choose to take this opportunity to fight back, it's going to continue again. The cycle is going to continue, and eventually people aren't going to be fazed by it anymore.
The shootings in Uvalde and Buffalo, New York have added new urgency to the country's ongoing debate over gun violence, though the prospects for federal legislation remain uncertain, given staunch Republican opposition to any limits on firearms. In recent weeks, a bipartisan group of Senate negotiators vowed to hammer out a deal, though they have yet to reach an agreement. Their effort is focused on relatively modest changes, such as incentivizing states to pass red flag laws that allow authorities to keep guns from individuals who have been deemed dangerous.
Ja, warum ich da bin, ist ganz klar.
Why I am here is very clear. One should protect the rights of those who love and express their love in society differently than we might. That is not a given, especially in the present time.
In der jetzigen Zeit ist es so, dass es nicht
It is not like that in all countries, and I think that is a high value that we have to protect. And a demonstration like this, also with the support of the municipality of Vienna, is the best place for it.
dafür.
And we are here to celebrate equality. All people are equal without exception. And we celebrate life and love.
The US and its allies traded barbs with China at a security meeting in Singapore on Saturday. While the war in Ukraine dominated proceedings at the Shangri-La Dialogue, Taiwan was also a sticking point. US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Washington would do its part to manage tensions with China and prevent conflict, but that it would also continue to stand by its allies, including Taiwan.
And that's especially important as the PRC adopts a more coercive and aggressive approach to its territorial claims.
China claims self-ruled Taiwan as its own and has vowed to take it by force if needed. Lieutenant General Zhang Zhenjiang, a senior Chinese military officer, told reporters Austin's speech was confrontational. He expressed strong dissatisfaction and firm opposition to what he called the many unfounded accusations against China. The defense minister of Japan, Nobuo Kishi, one of Washington's closest allies in Asia, also told the meeting that military partnership between China and Russia was worrying. Over the past few months, China and the US have clashed over everything from Taiwan and China's human rights record to its military activity in the South China Sea. President Volodymyr Zelensky insisted on Saturday that Ukraine would prevail in its almost 4-month-long war with Russia. Speaking remotely at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, Zelensky said it is on the battlefields in Ukraine that the future rules of this world are being decided. Ukraine has appealed for a swifter delivery of heavy weapons from the West, saying Russian forces have 10 times more artillery pieces than Ukrainian forces. The conflict has become focused on a grinding artillery slugging match over Severodonetsk. The eastern city is one of the last Ukrainian-controlled parts of Luhansk province, which Russia wants to seize, along with its twin city Lysychansk. Ukraine's Luhansk governor said the Russian forces control most of Severodonetsk, but that Ukraine still controls the Azot chemical plant, where hundreds of civilians are sheltering. The battle over Severodonetsk and its destruction recall weeks of bombardment of Mariupol. The southern port city's mayor has said Mariupol's sanitation systems are broken and corpses are rotting in the streets. Vadim Boychenko told national television that there was an outbreak of dysentery and cholera. He called on the United Nations and the International Committee of the Red Cross to work on establishing a humanitarian corridor to allow remaining residents to leave the city, which is now under Russian control.